Thanks very much, Mum. I really appreciate it again. So we did our chat about Clerkenwell, which was amazing, and then so I remember you saying about when you were, you grew up in Clerkenwell, which is absolutely fantastic, and then your parents moved to like near Old Street to Shoreditch, and then you and Dad moved into Bloomsbury, like in what was it, 1968.
Something, or 16, maybe 68, something.
At the end of
maybe 68, because we got married. I think we got married in 68. I can't even remember.
How did you feel about moving to Bloomsbury? Had you been there before? Did you know the area, or?
Oh yes, because growing up in Clerkenwell, as I said, I used to go to the library, in the Holborn Library. So the whole area of Coram's Fields was very familiar. As a child,
Theobald's Road.
Theobald's Road.
Yeah.
So the Holborn Library was on Theobald's Road.
Yeah.
So
which obviously you've grown up with.
Yes, I used to go there. Yeah, because it was very funny. My father, because I used to go to the library in Finsbury, the Finsbury Library and the Holborn Library. My father asked me to reserve two books for him. So I said, "Okay, Dad, I'll when I go to Holborn," because it was a bigger library. Although Finsbury wasn't small by any means, but it wasn't as big as Holborn because it was a new library. And he asked me to reserve the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn.
Yes, these are quite mature adult books.
These at the time had been banned for years as pornography. So there's me at 15 going, "Excuse me, can I reserve?" Had no idea about these books. It was an American author, and for years they were very famous. So yeah.
But what about? I mean, so
I knew the area very well.
So I mean, did you ever, like when you were younger, did you ever go to Coram Fields?
Oh yes. So
you went there?
Because when you're
very near, isn't it?
Yes, you just go up across Farringdon Road. You just go up the hill, what we used to call, as I said to you before, that was always known as Italian Hill.
Right.
Because you had the big Italian church there on the right-hand side going up the hill, and then what's the other?
What was it like playing at Coram Fields then, Mum? Did you?
Well, it's just a big, yes.
Well, it's a big giant space.
It was a big space, but the one thing, the reason that we would go there, because most of our playing was at up in Finsbury. Near Exmouth Market, was because they had a paddling pool.
Right, oh, lovely. So
in Coram's Fields, when the weather was really nice, they had a paddling pool there. I think it's still there. I don't know. So you would go there, and don't forget, in those days, children just roamed the streets. You were told to go out and play, take your brother and your sister with you, and don't come back until lunchtime.
No, that's it. Yes,
they could go. So anywhere you wanted to.
Yeah, so you knew it. But I mean, when you and Dad got married, and I think I don't know if it was that a friend of his brother's, but Dad got a job, didn't he, down in the grocers?
That's right, the greengrocers. Yeah, it was the greengrocers.
And that's how you got the place upstairs.
Yes, because the vegetable and fruit shop there, just on the corner of town.
The greengrocers.
The greengrocers, I couldn't remember what it was called now.
Waitrose, you call it now, Mum, don't you?
No, and of course they actually had the two flats, and the top flat was occupied by a really nice couple, Roger and his wife, and we got the downstairs flat, which had big windows. It was only 3 rooms, but it was really big.
Yeah, very spacious, wasn't it? There was a lot of lights,
big, huge ceilings, but of course. Like everything, you had to share a bathroom and a toilet.
Yes. As you said, the neighbours upstairs were lovely. I was saying in my last episode about how kind they were and very nice.
Yes. So moving there was great because, as I mentioned before, Shoreditch really wasn't the place for me. I never liked living there. Found it.
What about your friends? Did you have friends in the area?
No, not at that time, but because after Daniel and I were married, because both of us were both working, so unless your friends that you had came to visit, You didn't know people, but of course as soon as you were born, and then I started going to Coram's Fields, and then you start to get to know other mothers.
And it's an amazing network, didn't it?
Yes, and the thing is, in Marchman Street, which is the street that's off from Tavistock Place, there were quite a few buildings that had flats, lots of flats converted, and there were a lot of single mothers. No, in those days, you very rarely saw a single father with a child, but there were lots of single mothers. So you got to know people in you know, from Coram's Fields, and you get you know, and it's one of those things. You meet people, and all of a sudden you have things in common, and you know, you're attracted to each other as friends. And of course your children start to play together, and it was fantastic. And that was great.
Well, that's it. Yeah, because I remember I had who was it? It was like sort of 3 boys and a girl. I think.
Yes.
That was my sort of, group. And what about you and your friends? Where did you meet up? Was it cafes or at each other's houses?
No. Well, basically, we didn't go to cafes very much until you started going up to New End in Hampstead, and then we'd often meet for coffee afterwards. Up, you know, in the coffee shops up in Hampstead. But no, normally we'd just be.
Not around in Bloomsbury then.
No, not really, because it was mostly a summer thing, or spring-summer thing. The winter, not so much. I'm trying to think now, you know, but because there's so many parks around, you know, because we're just up the road, as I say, you've got Coram's Fields. And then you have Russell Square, which is a lovely square as well. Yeah,
I keep forgetting about that. I never thought I went there, but did you used to go there?
I used to go there when I was pregnant with you, because you were born in UCH. So, and of course, one of the things that the one person that I did see a lot of before I made friends with various ladies or women, you know, in Tavistock Place was Heather.
Right, yeah, exactly. That was because in the same bed at the
next door. Not the same bed, but in the same ward. No, she was
not the 19th century.
No, she was. She lived. Her bed was next to me. Yes. And they were in Australia. It was the Architectural Association. So South worked for them, and they and of course they
this
had
is the university, the sort of private university, isn't it?
Okay,
Brunswick Square, was it?
Sorry,
that was in Bloomsbury Square.
Was it?
I think No, I used to go there a lot as well.
Okay, so the thing is that Heather and I became friends because we were both in a bed next to each other. You and Marcus were born roughly the same time, and she lived up at Highbury Barn in Islington. And so I used to go to her house, and she used to come down.
There was a friend of mine who lived, a neighbour in the council. There's the council flats right next to our house, wasn't it?
Oh, that was Anne. That was Anne. Anne was from Scotland. She had a son called her son was roughly your age, Robert. It was another Robert, and she had 2 twins as well.
That's right. My dad said that as well.
Alistair and Neil. So typical. So again, because
that's a wonderful place.
It used to be a police. It used to be like a police flats or something.
Oh, interesting.
So you go down an alley. It's on the Tavistock Place, on the same side as that we were, and you just go down a small alley, and then it's like almost like a Peabody.
Yes.
And like the old Peabody buildings, but it was a flat. So we used to go. I'd forgotten about. We used to go to Anne's a lot. Again, it's just because of space, having more than 3 rooms,
I mean, I'd love to ask about, obviously this is when we were older by then, so maybe 4 or 5
yes,
or whatever. Then we used to go to Merlin's Cave.
Yes, we'd go to Merlin's Cave.
Who did you used to go there with?
That was because of Ruth.
So Ruth, so your friend Ruth loved the jazz. She was going already, or did you
I can't remember. No. I honestly don't know. Maybe a friend, because as I say, she loved jazz. I didn't like jazz, but she said that George Melly was playing with his band, the Feetwarmers, and I'd heard of George Melly. He was quite famous, But like a lot of jazz musicians, they didn't earn any money, but they would play at Ronnie Scott's or whatever. But every Sunday, Ruth has said, and I think Lydia came as well, the friend that lived around the corner with Robert. There was Robert, there was Robert, you, and Sutra, which is the daughter of Ruth. Yeah. So we went there, and it's like a hall, a hall round the back, as I say, of what was Merlin Street bars, and it was a Sunday lunchtime. So people, you go there, and the band was just like on a makeshift stage, and then there was just a made up bar. Because I think during the week, I think you had the WI in there, or exercise, or they maybe had a creche or whatever. It was a typical thing. It was just, and I don't know how much it was, probably about, I don't know, 2 shillings in the old days, about 10p to get in.
1975, roughly.
Yeah, it was before Adam was born, so yes.
It would have been.
Yes.
So
you were about 4.
4.
And we went there for a few years, and Ruth absolutely loved it there. Yeah. I enjoyed it because it was going out, and it
sociable.
Was sociable, and you remember it.
Yes, it's memorable.
And I don't know why it closed.
I've looked, Mum. It closed in the early 80s because it's just like the jazz. They just couldn't. Yes. I think it was the landlord. Yeah. I think he was just like committed to it. I think by the mid 80s, sorry, like they just
yes. Yeah.
How many years do you think we went there for? About 2 or 3?
Yes, something like that. Yeah, because I'm saying you were 4, but maybe you were 3 coming into 4.
Yes,
but we went there.
I was mobile anyway. I was able to
run around.
Yeah.
But that was the lovely thing there. No one worried. Children. When I was growing up, there was always this whole English thing.
Kids?
No. Children should be seen and not heard. So. These skin-tight white t-shirts and skin-tight jeans, and she used to stand in front of George Melly and the Feetwarmers, shaking it all about because she really liked the music. And I wasn't a big drinker at that time, so I don't know what I didn't have. I don't think I had a beer, or maybe I did.
No, but you just probably just enjoying the...
Yeah, it was just great. Yes, I probably did drink a beer or a glass of wine. I can't remember, but whatever. It was fantastic. It was a lovely, relaxed place to go, and the children had fun. There was nothing about, as I say, the British society at that time. Especially if you went out.
Well, these are all, I think, very middle class people. It's probably a lot of middle class guys going in there because they're listening to jazz. I mean, who listens to jazz? Middle class. Yes, of course. Yeah, guys. And the music was great, and great. It wasn't out there type jazz. It was more like a trad jazz. But it's just a chance, wasn't it? Like just have a nice afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Yeah, and it's something like you say. You've looked it up. I've not really read much about the history of it either. Yeah, no, I'll show you in a minute. Because there's that really nice photograph as well, which I'll show you, which is exactly what I imagined in my head. It was. And if you think about it, if we had mobile phones in those days, although we could have bought a camera, but you never even thought of taking a camera to take photos. I think it's interesting because I think the moment you got a mobile phone, there's no way in hell you're going to have a room full of smoke and booze. With kids in, so it's interesting, isn't it? But I'm just saying that you would have you would have an amazing amount of, photos and images from that time. But until I actually started doing photography myself, I did have lots of, do lots of photography. None of us ever thought of it. You never thought of going along and taking selfies and photos because you just go and. Well, yeah. This is like 1975, Mum. So now I can't go anywhere without doing a selfie.